I got a job today at the Jackson Journal. I'm to be a serious writer.
Oh, Christ. I guess you'll do.
Great, you can write my obituary. Charlotte Phelan, dead. Her daughter, still single.
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Bueno, where change begins with a whisper. And tonight we get to find out what the US have been shouting about as we attend the UK premiere of The Help.
Aibileen, girls are pulling up and the table isn't set. Aibileen, you spilled something.
Forgive me, Lord, but I'm gonna have to kill that woman, Aibileen.
You know as well as I do, every white house should have a separate bathroom for the colored help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
Oh, it is. The movie itself and the story behind the story, all of us friends being in this position, it's phenomenal. You just don't know this happening ever again, and it's happened.
Well, you know the writer of the book very well. You're a friend and you grew up together, didn't it? So did that help you connect with the story better and help you script it?
Absolutely. We were both from Jackson, Mississippi, where we weren't raised in this exact time period. We knew a lot of the women that were products of it. So absolutely. I mean, it's an old adage, if not cliche, write what you know, write what you love. That's the only way to be successful. And Kathryn wrote what she knew, and I read it, and I said, oh my gosh, I know this too, and I had to make the movie.
And Jackson, Mississippi, you said it was based there. It's very much a character in its own right, isn't it?
Well, Mississippi as a whole, absolutely. It's a character and a character I'm proud of. We have some horrific ghosts in my state's past, and we have a ways to go, but now the journey we still have left to travel is pretty much in parallel with the rest of the world and the rest of the country. So we've caught up to the journey that the rest of us still must finish.
Is there a kind of catharsis with the film? Relating to what the ladies have had to go through in the past and dealing with the sort of racial equality and...
Yeah, I think so. I mean, on the DVD, which comes out in America on December 6th, Octavia and I went back to Greenwood, Mississippi, and we interviewed women who were working in the 60s, and we also interviewed their daughters. And it was really moving because their daughters and sons were doctors and senators and lawyers, and to see this, have this roundtable discussion about how their moms did this so they could have opportunity, that was cathartic.
You said to write about what disturbs me.
I'm listening.
I was raised by a colored woman. I've seen how simple and how complex it can be. She raised me.
She did not.
I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help. A book like this has never been written before.
There's a reason.
These women raise white children, but they can't even use the toilets in our houses.
Minnie, are you in there?
You are fired!
You're very much the soul of this film, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. I like being called the soul of the film.
Tell us a little bit more about it, please.
It's a film about the underdog. It's a film about, people who tap into the extraordinary part of themselves, who've been suppressed and told by culture that they are a certain way. All the women, there's a lack of expectation of their potential. And somehow through the course of writing this book, they tap into the part of themselves that is heroic. Mm-hmm.
And when you read the script, it must have been an opportunity that you just couldn't turn down.
Oh, I couldn't turn down. I mean, it's like Octavia says, we talk about it all the time. Very seldom are African-American women the lead in movies, let alone with characters that are this rich, let alone with relationships like this. You just don't see it. I mean, whatever you may say about the movie, you don't see relationships like this on screen, ever. I mean, it's a 99% female cast of different generations and ages and ethnicities, and it was undeniable, the richness of the characters.
And was Tate very specific about how he wanted you to portray those characters?
Tate was really open to ideas. He was a great collaborator. There were times when there were certain moments in the script that he wanted to keep very specific, but for the most part, he was very, very open. I think that's what made him a great director.
I thought I might write my stories down and read them to you. All right, I'm gonna do it. I got to come up with your questions too?
Oh. Now, you're playing Minnie, the best friend to Aibileen. Can you tell us a little bit more about the relationship between your characters, please?
Well, Aibileen is I think, the voice of the future, and Minnie perhaps is the voice of the past. Aibileen doesn't see the social lines, or she is aware of them. Minnie really doesn't have use for anything that is not a part of her daily world. And I think that Aibileen impacts Minnie and certainly gives her a voice and makes her understand how powerful her voice is.
And also, does the story, that what makes it more powerful is that even though it's a work of fiction, it's steeped in truth.
Well, it's definitely steeped in truth. I think while these women are fictional, they represent real people, especially the domestics. So it's a really wonderful thing to celebrate these women who made such an impact on the growth of our nation.
And was it difficult playing a character that's been so very well loved within a book and then sort of bringing it to life, really, and trying to keep probably the nuances that resonate with the readers?
Absolutely. I mean, I was cognizant of that, but it wasn't the thing that was most on my mind. What was most on my mind was doing a good job, because my dear friend went to bat for me and said she can do this role to a studio paying a lot of money. So that was probably, weighing heavier, not disappointing Tate.
Did you know growing up that one day you'd be a maid?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Do you ever dream of being something else?
I'm on help too.
We all are.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am, but you about to. It's gone done in now.
It's quite scandalous.
Skeeter's a young woman, very much ahead of her time, isn't she?
She is, but I don't think she knows it. She just feels a little bit like a social outcast.
And was that a good challenge for you?
It was wonderful. I mean, and I was also kind of lucky, because Skeeter is a modern woman and kind of thinks the way that I think and my generation thinks now. So it wasn't like getting into the mindset of a Hilly Holbrook, and thinking about what it would be like to be my age and have kids and a husband and.
You're also working for a director who knows so much about Mississippi and connects so much to the script. That must have been such a help for you.
It was. It was one of the most major reasons I wanted to be part of the movie, was that Tate was the director. If it were some guy that was like, I'm going to make this Southern story, I don't know if I would have responded so well, but he is this movie. He was amazing.
And may I ask you about the relationship between yourself and your fellow cast members as well? That must have been a very special bond that you must have had, that you could bring to set.
Oh, it was incredible. It was pretty much entirely women, which is kind of amazing. It was a really supportive and wonderful environment. And we were in a tiny town, so we could ride our bikes to each other's houses and walk to each other, and it kind of set the pace for a lot of bonding.
Courage sometimes skips a generation. Thank you for bringing it back to our family.